Transition. Okay. How do I get rid of this thing here? Oh, I need a sun here. I need a sun. I need a sun. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. But we're gonna find out what I'm doing. At least I'm awake right now. I don't have any tea. I don't have any tea. I've been sort of unprepared. I've been unprepared. Hey, Kinsey, how are you doing? Hey, Simon, good to see you. Steve Cuff is here, and Marianne McCara Fitzpatrick. Hello, for one of the early ones. You're the best people. The best people. Anyway, anybody's listening to this is the best. Let's face it. This is not what I expected it to be. It's not what I expected it to be. How do I get to the App Store overlays? I don't know what this thing is. Editor, editor. No, editor. Studio mode. Could this be it? Can you see a complete view of me? That's the question. A complete view of me. Full screen. What do you think? Just listening back to yesterday's stream and see the notification for today's live stream. Okay, well, there you go. You're thinking about Lewis Schaffer, Kinsey. Remember, you are a married woman. A married woman. I am, and Dean O'Drantle. What's up? Hello. That's a new name to the thing, so thank you for posting in, Dean O'Drantle. I don't know whether is that your real name, but it's good anyway. Vatanai's music. Let's go. Let's go, everybody. When I hit one of those, I'm not going to eat anything during the live stream because it makes me tired. Cheese. I would say if you eat carbs, you're going to get tired. So I'm not going to eat. That's my rule for today is no eating. I ate at about 3:30. I posted it 3:30 p.m. and now I'm not hungry. I'm not as hungry as I used to be. I used to be hungry all the time. Did people answer what's up to Dean O'Drantle? Who is Dean O'Drantle? That doesn't sound quite real, but then again, none of us are real. Are you real? Are you real? I don't know if you're real. Anyway, I went out today and I did a lot of things. I sent Leanne. I don't think Leanne is here. Cam Keating is here. Is amazing. Lewis Schaffer is amazing. Actually, he is. Who is Lewis Schaffer? I'm not sure I am amazing, but it's quite hot in here. Anyway, so what was I saying? I was saying this. I was saying that I went out and I mailed Leanne's calendar. I mailed her calendar. Hi, everybody, says Joodles. Did anyone follow the Sandy Peggy Tribunal today? I'm knackered after listening to so much absolute bollocks for 5 hours. You could speak to me about it, but we could maybe talk about it. Thank you, Joodles. But so I did. I went to the post office, and it's very pleasant. Pleasant enough. Okay. And then, so I went to the post office, and then I bought strawberries in Co-op. And to be honest with you, I don't think the strawberries are particularly good from Co-op. And then I ate some fruit along the way. There's plums along the way in Peckham Rye Park. Strawberries are sexy, yeah, but they're very toxic. Not very toxic, but they're the most highly pesticidal foods ever. Is that okay? So I went and had strawberries, and then on the way back, I had a samosa. So I've been at a samosa, and which is bad because this morning when I woke up, I had not lost any fat, and I had actually gained a couple. So I woke up weighing 78.7 kilograms. Fruit, yeah. Fruit. It's fruit. You love fruit. You don't like this. What does that mean? What does that face mean, Steve Cuff? Do you like fruit? You don't like fruit? Little strawberries are nice. Yeah, strawberries are nice. It's not a real food. Strawberries never used to be whatever size they are. And a samosa. I had half a samosa, Claire. And lamb samosa. But I didn't eat all of it, and I didn't eat all of the carbs. So right now I'm at 44. Okay, so do you think I'm muscly? Do you think I'm muscly, Joodles? I don't feel muscly. I mean, I did walk about 15,000 steps yesterday, and I've been walking, but that's a really good question. So should I not worry about it? I know I'm supposed to be Mr. Food Guy, but I'm not Mr. Food Guy. I don't know. Okay. So we're going to talk about Joodles. and her situation, because Joodles is a political figure. It'll be like me interviewing Joodles. We're all political figures. We have to live in this world with those horrible people running the whole thing. I want to just shout, "Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!" That's what people should be doing in Parliament. Stop it, Stu. And then what's his name? What's his name in the Daily? So I bought the Daily Mail. People always ask me, why do I buy the Daily Mail? Are you a Daily Mail kind of guy? I like it. It's £1.20. That's what I like about the Daily Mail. It's £1.20, and that's cheap. Well, the more you walk, the more your muscly legs will get. So you're just saying, I don't know, that sounds reasonable, but there's lots of these things, Joodles, that make sense, right? Hey, Lucy's in the house, and Mark Therosian is in the house. Kinsey is here. Anyway, it's one of those things where you think, I'm gotta put my pants up. Cam Keating. Cam Keating is a guy. Sounds like a girl, but it's a guy. But it's a great name. Anyway, is that it's one of those things that makes sense. How many of these things make perfect sense? You eat saturated fat, and you're going to get saturated fat in your heart, right? That's what they say. That's what they say. But that's not true. It's totally untrue. It sounds smart, but how do you eat saturated fat? It goes into your stomach and completely gets disintegrated, and then it somehow ends up in your heart. So we can talk about that, I guess. I don't know. We can talk about anything. I mean, I'm actually interested in what happened to Joodles, because I feel something is going to happen to me. I can feel that. So we're on now at 5 o'clock. What is today's date? Today's the 16th of July. I meant to do some preparation work beforehand, but I haven't. So there was something in the newspaper that I thought was particularly interesting. And I said, make a note of this. But my memory is so bad because I'm getting so old. And then I thought to myself, I'm not going to remember it. So let me look. Yeah. Okay, hold on a second. We could talk about about the 18,000 Afghanis who were let in the country, and we weren't allowed to discuss it. Maybe it was the right thing to do, but it's not 18,000. It's 18,000 families, and they've got really, thank you very much. Really good, they've got big families. So if you let in 18,000 Afghanis, and I remember I was in an airport. I don't remember where I was going. I think I was going down to Atlanta with my ex-wife. And the guy who drove us to Atlanta, a cab driver there, was talking about how his children were in school in Afghanistan because he couldn't trust the schools in this country. And I'm going to tell you something honestly. I can't trust the schools. We can't trust the schools. You don't want to trust the schools. Maybe Joodles knows anything about like how this groupthink of people. We've let people think bad thoughts anyway. And he's got America's the greatest country in the world. And what is he doing? The newspaper cost £1.20, Kinsey, and so every person that was working for the thing probably had 5 or 10, 20 relatives that are coming into this country. You just want to scream, stop. But we're not talking about that. Everything is going to be good. Did I tell you that I spoke to my whatever? I don't even know I should ever mention her name. She called me and she said, Lewis, everything's going to be all right. Don't worry about it. You got to stop worrying about it. You, Lewis Schaffer, have a mental problem. We could discuss Lewis Schaffer's mental problems because I'm really worried. But I go through periods when I'm really worried. You can tell me not to be worried. You can tell me maybe we should be worried. It's, Kinsey says it's crazy times. You can't trust anyone in authority. No, you can never trust anybody in authority. Question authority, but also beyond question authority. Just throw them out, basically. I can't trust. Here, I've got a health report that I found it 20 years ago. We can discuss my health report. 5, my health report, and it says I'm healthy. It says I'm healthy, even though my BMI is 27.2, and my waist is 40.5, and my weight is 89.7. So I was not super fat. I weigh 78 now, so I've lost 11 kilograms from then. I researched a low-carb lifestyle, and strawberries were considered okay. They are okay. The problem is that strawberries, from what I've heard from GOATIS, GOATIS, is that strawberries are the most pesticidal plant you can have, Lud, that they pour the pesticides in it. And in order to get rid of the pesticides, you have to sort of soak them in salty water, really, basically. Lucy's boyfriend, Alan, is here. There's Lucy. Lucy and Alan, introduce yourselves to each other. You're right to be worried. I'm worried about 2030. Yeah, that's only 5 years away, and that's also that plan that they have. So that's a question we're going to have. My health results. And also, if you remember, my kidney function went down. And that's a concern. Kidney function went down. So we could talk about Afghanistan. Where did I mention Afghanistan? I went to Afghanistan once. Well, not the country. I was in California in the 1970s. Everyone was wearing an Afghan. I'm not sure that's right. Strawberries have a very glossy, unnatural sheen, but the organic ones don't. Yeah, well, organic is always going to be better. So, but do you think they're organic when I'm buying them in in co-op? Do you like the shop? I don't like it. It's really expensive. It's supposed to help poor people. Isn't co-op supposed to be good for poor people? It's the most expensive shop around. Never worry, says Steve Cupp. There's something you can do about a situation. Do it and don't worry. If there's nothing you can do about it, then there's nothing you can do. Don't worry. Well, that is a very good point. So a round of applause for Steve. The problem is I have 1% industriousness. Do you remember that? I got 1%. My kidney function went down. Yeah, will I be okay? It's 38, so it's not super low. It was 43. So that's about 10% drop, right? Shh, Claire, shh, says Judels. Don't worry about Lewis Schaffer's kidney function. Yeah. So I agree with you, Steve, and I'm trying to do stuff. I'm trying. I knew I was in trouble because Rose called me up and says, "Don't worry about stuff. Everything's going to be fine." And she says, this is what she says. She says, "Lewis," and she knows me. She says, "You're mental. You're mental." And I said, "Yeah, I'm mental, but that doesn't mean it's not true. It's like just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you. Co-op is funding labor. Is that true, Simon Arnold? Because I might not go in there if they're funding labor, because labor is the biggest threat to this country that we have. Them and the Tories. So what you need to do, Lewis, is find yourself someone with high industriousness, and she'll do it all for you, and she'll enjoy doing it. Okay, is that you, Judels? Who could that be? Who could that be? I've been promised this before. My first wife said, "Oh, I'm going to be your manager, Lewis. I'm going to do everything." It always sounds good in the beginning. You don't want to help Lewis Schaffer out. I've got to do it myself. If I don't do it myself, I'm not gonna do it. I mean, remember my mental state is I'm a hoarder. I would say I'm a low-level hoarder because I don't save actual rubbish and old food. I don't save that stuff. So if you come to my place, the floor is vacuumed. I clean the sink every day. There's no old food in my refrigerator. It could be considered empty. Cam Keating says, just focus on your fingertips when you're anxious. Stay grounded. Yeah. I'm not. You mean like anxious? I don't even get anxious. Is that what you're saying? Like, ooh. I mean, I just basically don't do anything. Look up the co-op party. And yes, it is true. Is it the same co-op party? That's is like labor and co-op. They have a couple of seats here in Southwark. That's interesting. Co-op equals labor-ish. Okay. Well, that's really interesting. So glad the Epstein files weren't coming out. That's a weight off my shoulders. Yeah, luckily, yeah. I mean, who knows who was involved in this stuff? So, who knows? But thank you, Judels, for suggesting I find somebody here. Who here is heavily, besides Are you industrious, Joodles? Are you are you a doer of things? I think you might be. I think you might be. You know, you could be my Yoko Ono, possibly. But that doesn't mean that, Claire's here, and who else is here? Um, Joe, maybe Joe could do it. Maybe Lucy. Okay, so what's Stuart? Hey, Stuart, did you see the big boy Dixon on Patrick's show last night? He smashed it after a few weeks off. I didn't see it. I forgot to do it. I was out. I forgot to play it, and I feel bad. I feel bad. But you know what? I knew, of course he would do well. He's so bright. He's so hardworking. And Lewis Schaffer, let's be honest, has set the tone. I've told everybody how to, what you need to do. Whether I'll be back tomorrow, I don't know. I haven't been told this. Cam Keating says I'm Lewis Schaffer's daughter. Okay. Yeah, you could be like Yoko Ono. You could be. Dean or Yoko Ono is very noisy. Well, did you see the TV program? She wasn't that noisy. Whatever the movie was, Get Back. Dean, she wasn't that but I could see, what's his name, Paul McCartney, who's a leader of men, and seeing the love of his life, Mr. Chaos, John Lennon, who was also brilliant, just basically say, I'm not interested in you anymore. Maybe there was a gay thing between the two of them. Maybe there wanted to be a gay thing between John Lennon. I'm not saying there was. What do you think? Was there a gay thing between John Lennon and Paul McCartney? Because I think Paul McCartney was so in love with John Lennon. I mean, I like John Lennon too. He wasn't the greatest guy in the world. Okay. Is protesting from a bed industrious? Yes. Who are we talking about? Yoko, or are we talking about John Lennon? Remember the Sean-like joke? Come on, Yoko. We want another album. You're really talented. That's really funny, Joodles. I met Sean Locke, and he was really funny. And that is really funny. Nobody thought that she was that talented, but let's give her the benefit of the doubt. The boy Dixon did good. Yeah, I like Dixon. I like Nick Dixon. I mean, he's been mad at me at the time. He was mad at me, but he's not mad at me anymore. Let's hope. So Stewart's to Joe and Claire says, good to see the headliners boys still there. Yeah, it is really good. It is. I mean, I don't know why. Maybe it's just to keep you two watching the program. I don't know why they have that, but they have that. Your love will turn me on. I like John Lennon. Did I like his political beliefs? Imagine bromance. Was a bromance, says Joe. Did I like John Lennon's political beliefs? That song, Imagine, we were singing that before, and it was just a communist rant. Horrible. And communism. I can't even use the word communism, because nobody was a communist when I was a kid, except for me. We were all communists when we were about 22 years old. But probably because they can't trust all the headliners in the same room together. Could be that too. Kinsey says, hopefully I'll get a call for tomorrow. Lorna Hutchison's in the house. Hey, Lorna. Maybe Paul McCartney, asked Claire, loved John Lennon in a non-sexual way. Yeah, could be. Yeah, could be. Maybe he did. But the point is that, they had this thing that when they were in a room together, Paul McCartney felt funnier. Not funnier, felt more artistic. And then suddenly, hi, Lewis, says Kerry. Then suddenly he's not there anymore. He's with this girl. What's this girl doing here? What's this girl? What are you saying? Only Lewis in his sexual way, Claire. Yeah, go for Lewis Schaffer. Lewis Schaffer's not exactly the most sexual guy ever. I mean, I'm 68 years old, but I'm 68. I don't want to brag, because I can't brag, because I got nothing. I got something, but it's not as, I used to have nothing. And then I went on a high carb diet, and I have something now. Thank God. but I've been tested. I've been tested down there. Anyway, I haven't been. Anyway, I've managed to go my whole life without listening to the Beatles. My band was the Velvet Underground, Camp Keating. Yeah, they were great. They were really great. And I don't know whether you know this about Lewis Schaffer, the host of this basically content free show, but I lived 200 feet away from where the Yule brothers lived, from the Velvet Underground, on the corner of Allenwood Road and Great Neck Road. That's where I grew up, in Great Neck, Long Island, New York. And they lived right there, and they were super cool. And they were living in Great Neck. I didn't think they were super cool at the time. I didn't hear about them because I was like 12 years old or whatever. But they had a pond, like a little fish pond on the side of their house. And I loved that pond so much. It was like just this dark, quiet little pond right by the side of the house. And that was amazing. Maybe this is what tonight. Maybe Paul loved John in a we can make a load of money kind of way. I think John Lennon cared about the money, but I also think he was an arts guy too. He was like they were making music and getting girls. It was like an amazing time for them. So Galactus is in the house. Hello, Galactus. Totally understand, Joodles. It's really bad now, except for the little segments they do, like Charlie Peters exposing the Pakistani grape gangs. It's not the same show. Times move on. Three years later, times move on. I don't feel appreciated, but maybe they don't appreciate it. Can we discuss what happened yesterday on my radio show, which I haven't listened to, but my radio show, I gotta, they may not want me on the radio show. I hope they do. On Resonance FM. Okay. We can't stand Paul, greedy McCartney. This is what Lorna says. And John Lennon was weird. George Harrison was the best. Something in the way she moves. You know what? He got good. He wasn't as hardworking as the other two, but he said, I'm going to be as good as them. This is what they say. He said in all those interviews. You remember what he said in all the interviews? He said, if those two can write music, and he was very generous. He really helped out Ringo. He was a good guy, I guess. He was a good guy. He was a good guy. The Rolling Stones for Steve Cuff. Yeah, they were good. They were good too. You know what? The more you know about the Beatles, the more you know. They were amazing. I don't want to, amazing. Claire liked the Velvet Underground. Did you know that they lived 200 feet away from me on Essex Road at the corner of Allenwood Road? Lewis. I was a second member of the Kinsey Club in the house. I was here for your check back at 7 o'clock. Screensavers. Is that today? I didn't see it today, but I'm noticing you now, Galactus. I'm noticing you now, So I'm really glad you're here. I'm really, really glad you're here. Lorna, I've heard some horrible stories about Lennon and McCartney. George Harrison was the best. Who said that? Did I just read that? That's what Lorna just said. Yeah. Well, you know what it is? What goes around comes around. He was bad back then. I didn't like him. I think he wasn't that good looking. Let's be honest. He wasn't that good looking. Who was the best looking one? That's another question. But Harrison was humble. He could read and write music. Well, you spelled writing wrong. Macca couldn't. Well, is that necessary? Did it stop him? He's written symphonies, Mac. He's written hundreds of songs. You know what? I don't know, Claire. Stones were better than the Beatles. It's personal preference. I'm not going to argue that. And he has, okay, yes, I don't like that. The vegan sausages, I don't like that. I don't like veganism. I mean, he's lived to 83 years old, but, they wouldn't let him have more than one or two of his songs on their albums. Okay, that's why he had so many for his first solo album, which was a double. I think it was a triple album. Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to answer that, Lucy. Number one is that I got the feeling towards the end when they were making the latter albums, the Get Back stories and the Abbey Road, that he withheld some of his music. Number one. Okay. Number one. Number two, I'm talking about Harrison now, withholding some of the music. Number two, he didn't bring that much to the party and they weren't that good. He wrote Taxman Hey, we're the tax man. You know what I mean? So basically what the Beatles were, here it is. Right. Sorry, Simon Arnold. I forgive you. Is that what the Beatles were is they were like they were 4 session musicians, and they would work on the song together, Lucy. Okay. So and the thing they said about George Harrison, he didn't work very hard. He's like Lewis Schaffer. Lewis Schaffer is not a worker. I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here. But remember, this is 40, 50 years of me thinking this crazy thoughts. But I don't think George Harrison did. I went more right wing with age. So Lou Reed worthy like me now. Wouldn't no, so Lou Reed wouldn't like me now. Well, Lou Reed is dead. Lots of songs were about trans identity. Yeah, I think Lou Reed was a bit gay at that time, but weren't we all? We were all a bit gay. And trans, I don't know if they didn't, did they have trans? Were they cutting things off in surgery? Yeah, I didn't think anything of it, basically. I think something of it now because I think we need kids and we need to fall in love with our fellow heartmates here. Okay, we need to fall in love. So, and trans is not about love. Trans is about obsessive, compulsive, autosexual love for yourselves. Autosexual love. That's what it is. I'm not even going to mention Demos Roussos because I've read a couple of articles about him, but I know nothing about him. Um, so that's what I think about that. So what is Lucy gonna say about what I said about George Harrison? I like George Harrison. A couple of George Harrison songs are some of my favorite songs. What's that song? Da 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 na 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 da 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 na na. What is da 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 da? What's that song go? I used to listen to that over and over again. Okay, whatever happened to Dutch carrots, fella? What is the Dutch carrots? Anyway, so do you remember Galactus? Do you do you not remember Galactus? Someone will think he's only turned up twice. Oh yes, yeah. People. The amazing thing is how often people we've got. How many viewers do we have here? Basically, it's the same viewers, whatever we are, participants. I guess if you like something, you like something. People come, people go. What about Mr. Broccoli? Don't know it. 43. That's brilliant. They're a non-food. They're a non-food. Anyway, it's true. What is life? That's a song. Isn't that a great song? That's a George Harrison song. So it took him a little bit longer because he wasn't as hardworking as John Lennon. And then John Lennon showed up to those things. He was high on heroin, I think, without besmirching him. And Paul McCartney is going, come on, come on. Lou Reed's parents, exclamation point, Reed's parents, says Claire, see, took him to have electric shock therapy to stop him being gay. I have heard that. I've heard that. We need more people to join our cult. Yes, we do. But then it wouldn't be a cult. But yeah, so electric shock therapy wasn't that bad. My mother was given electric shock therapy in the 1960s, early 60s. You know, this is what they did. They basically believed in shocking the system into good health. I'm revealing about my mother. She's dead, but it was, and I remember my mother. She went to the psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist had 3 books, and one of them was on electric shock. It wasn't as bad then as it is now. They used to give. Luckily, they didn't give her a. They cut their brain open. A lobotomy. A lobotomy. Am I too personal? I think I'm being too personal. But that's a good point, Claire. What was the song that he sang? Walk with the Singing Deer in the video. George Harrison. I mean, I don't know that. Okay. I like quite some of the songs by the Traveling Wilburys did. Yeah, that was really good. But remember who was in that. It wasn't just George Harrison, which he founded, which was very good. It was what's his name, and the other guy, and Bob Dylan, and the other guy who I like so much. I can't remember any of their names. So Claire and Joodles, says Claire, speaking to Steve and Joodles, I have this biography. It's absolutely fascinating. and a hard read. What is the biography about? About Roy Orbison was really sad, and he had this really beautiful wife, and then he died, and he was being rediscovered again. I remember Roy Orbison. It was like slightly before my time, so I did not really like him, Orbison, and then he was going to be famous. Was Eric Clapton in that book? Tom Petty, yes, Tom Petty, not the other one, from ELO. What's the guy from ELO? It's a good job you're paying attention, Steve. I'd have missed it, says Joodles. I know how these electric um, shock therapy patients feel, says Galactus, because he played Operation. Yeah, it's like waking you up. It's like when somebody stops slapping you. You go, oh, wow, I feel so much better. But meanwhile, you're damaged. Imagine there's no Lewis. It's very hard. No GB News above us, below us, only Sky News. Only Sky News. That's actually pretty funny. Thank you, Vatanai's music. Yeah, well, that's what his theory was. He's saying no God, we're all living for each other and all that stuff. That's what John Lennon was saying. I don't believe that anymore. I hope you guys don't believe it, but if you believe it, you're allowed to. Don't forget Billy Joel in the New York Classic. Jeff Lynne, says Paul. Okay, very good. Welcome, Paul. Yeah, Jeff Lynne. I remember, I've seen videos about Jeff Lynne. And he was just a lovely guy. He was pretty ugly because he dyed I used to dye my hair black. Not good. Lorna loved Roy Hutchison. Elvis is my favorite. Yeah, go for that. I read a book about Elvis. Lewis, I have the Lou Reed biography. Is that an excuse for coming to see Lewis Schaffer, Claire? Joe's a massive ELO fan. Yeah. Incredible songs. But no one knew it was him. Mark J says he could sing like Roy Orbison, I assume. Well, everybody sings in the same way, but is it going to be as good as Roy Orbison? Tom Petty, Orbison, Lynn, Harrison, and Lynn. No, but there's also one other person. Wasn't Bob Dylan there in it a little bit? Bob Dylan. Love Bob Dylan. Billy Joel. Until the night was brilliant. Yeah, John Lennon was so pretentious. He's like that far left. Yeah, he was far left. Yeah. I mean, far left is pretentious. It's lying. Sorry to say that. I was a liar. I was thinking that today. I was a liar. Alan Williams says the Traveling Wilburys are great. Imagine was used as a COVID anthem. Says it all, says John Loynes. Yes, it does. Because COVID is a leftist plot. Medicine is a leftist plot. Victor Bokrus, Lou's bio I have. There are two others I've not read. About what? About Lou Reed. I love Elvis, says Kerry. I think he was the best looking human I've ever seen, man or woman, my opinion anyway. What's wrong with that statement, Kerry, that Elvis was the best looking human ever? What's wrong? Do I have to tell you what's wrong? What's wrong? All right, there you go. Lorna Hutchison, hello to her grandsons. What is wrong with that statement? You're talking to Lewis Schaffer. Lewis Schaffer you got to say Lewis Schaffer is the best looking man. But after Lewis Schaffer, Kerry, please say that. Where's Alice? Mark, where's Alice? Okay. I mean, those are the questions you have to ask. They're really good. I mean, first of all music is personal, but some music is derivative. And some music, Kinsey Club says, hi to your grandsons. Are you speaking? Lewis is now jealous of Kerry's opinion of Elvis. Yeah, well, wouldn't you be jealous? Why can't she say that? Why couldn't she just say, I'm not jealous. I think Elvis was really good looking. But I just want a shout out. I want to call in. What do they call that? Where someone just, we're mentioning Lewis just to keep Lewis Schaffer happy. California man. Okay. Yeah, he was the best looking man ever. Elvis was. And then he got fat. He got fat. That's the lesson. You're better looking than Elvis. See, this is why I love you, Kerry. Thank you, Kerry, Kerry, Kerry. I love Kerry. I love Kerry because she's willing to say something like that. Would Joodles say something like that to me? I don't think she would. Claire might. Okay. There you go. Yeah, there I go. But why was Elvis so ugly? Besides, he was a young man and he was drinking. He got fat. Raise your hand if you don't want to get fat. Was Marilyn Monroe not a man? Lewis or Elvis? I choose Lewis. See, that's the right answer. I mean, Elvis is dead, but yeah, that's what we've got to do. That's why I'm doing this. So Marion McCracken says, I will have to look up the name of that song, Mark J. So there you go. Even Fat Elvis was getting more action than I'm getting in my 20s. Are you in your 20s? Are you one of the producer's friends? Galactus. Where are you from? Elvis dyed his hair black like you. Yeah. And it was really ugly. I colored my hair. I colored it. It was about 10 or 15 years, 10 years. I'm trying to remember how long I colored. 1993 I started. And my hair was basically black. So no one ever noticed it for the first 7, 8, 10 years, whatever. And then they started to say, no, it doesn't looks like you color. And they used to laugh at me. It wasn't good. Yeah. So that's right, Lucy. Have you seen the pictures of me with the dark hair? You're in your late 20s. Well, I think you win a prize for the youngest person here. Everybody, Galactus is in the house. And he's in his late 20s. Yeah. I mean, we got some, the women here. Maybe you could service them. Galactus, when you feel good about yourself, never forget most of the people on my 600-pound life are married. Is that true? That they're married? Yeah, they're married. What does that mean, Joodles? Because I think that's a statement that could be debated. Not debated, but because I can see where you're getting at. Explain what that means. Rachel, my sister went, and so did my DNA. My fingers, my toenails, my personal body hair. Laugh out loud. Yeah, probably because you're on a horrible diet, Lorna. Come on. Elvis was beautiful, but so are you. I'm hearing it again. Kerry knows this is what I like. This is what I like, people. You've basically hit the secret right there. Just tell me I'm handsome. Tell me you like me. Tell me you love me. Damn you, Galactus, for being so young. Service. Okay, now I lost my train of thought. What does that mean, service, Joodles? Simon Arnold never dyed his hair. Well, I dyed my hair because my hair was so dark. The 50 stone people can't get out of bed, Lewis. They all have feeders, and I'd say for the majority, it's their spouse. Yeah, they've got somebody feeding them because they're super powerful people, and I know what it's like to be hungry. I know what it's like. Okay, here's a picture of Lewis Schaffer with the black hair. Can you see with the black? But my black hair there. Let's see if we can find another picture. Hold on a second. Lewis, you could service the women here. Yeah. Probably not as good as you'd expect me to, but I could. I'll service the guy too. If you tell me I'm so beautiful, Lewis, you are so beautiful, all I want to do is kiss you, Lewis. I will kiss you. Maybe not, but you know what I mean? I look better now. I look better. I'm 68 years old. I look better. But the point is that that Joodles is right, that all fat people have people servicing them. And we service fat people by telling them that, you look beautiful. You look beautiful. All the women, I hear about this a lot, about how the women, they always tell the beautiful women tell the fat women, oh, you're a 10. You're so beautiful. Thank you, Zingo. There you go. Another one, Zingo. I'm a brute. I'm a handsome brute, Zingo. This is so creepy. This is going to be, people are going to go, oh my God, Lewis Schaffer's horrible. Anyway, and I do care about that and I shouldn't. But when you tell, fat is bad. And let me put something else in. All of the people on 600 pound, whatever, are dead. A lot of those people with all those shows like this about how good it is to be fat. They're all dead. I've seen videos about this. I thought you were having trouble with your Willy Wombat. The point is, you could service a woman without, without that. Women they want to cuddle, they want to hug. Lorna, sorry. So, okay. I know a woman like that. She had her own house, etc. Met a bloke, and he is now feeding her. Her friends believe that he's controlling her in order to keep her from other men. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I think it's the other way around. So you think some guy would willingly? I mean, they probably both get something from it. What do you think about that? Let's discuss this for a second, because this is something new to me. Why would a man was she fat to begin with, and now she's feeding him in order to keep her away from other men? This is what Steve Cuff says. I saw a documentary, of Lewis from 10 years ago on London Live, back when he still thought he might be rescued from London, and he was carrying a lot more weight than now. Yeah, that was 10 years ago. I looked fat and horrible because my wife kicked me out of the house. I didn't have the kids anymore to carry around with me. Claire said, Lewis, you are a handsome, quirky, funny, and I'm trying to seduce you. Okay, you see that? You see Lorna? She doesn't care. She doesn't care about what my wombat is doing. She doesn't care. 2 points for Claire. Okay, by age 21, I started going gray because you were on a high-carb diet. You want to go gray at 21? You have a high-carb diet. I believe carbs cause all problems in the world. Okay? I had darkish hair originally, not black. I would say eat low carbs. This happens all the time, Steve Cup. What happens? What happens there? About a guy? Did we answer the question? We're not Peugeot 107s. That's probably a reference to an ad. I owned a Peugeot 4 something. Did I own a Peugeot? No, I own a Volkswagen. Kinsey thinks this is all funny. What does she think is funny? I never heard of you, Lewis, before GB News. Yeah, most people didn't, because I wasn't famous. So there you go. You didn't hear about me. Okay, keep going, Claire. You'll get there. Yeah, you might get there. You know, you might. And Joodles too, maybe. Galactus. Does he use a turkey baster to service her? Are you talking about me, Steve Cuff? My late brother-in-law said that fat lasses had the tightest snatch. Probably because they don't get laid as much, maybe. Am I allowed to say that? That's what Lorna says. No, they're actually, if you're fat, and this is proven by me, if you're fat, remember all women have what, I don't even know what that fat is called, right by their area there. You know, the area down there. You're going to listen to this and you're going to remember this. And if you're fat, it makes the penis, it's fatter, and it makes the penis not go in as deep. Is this too dirty? Because it's not used as much. That's what I said. Yeah, good joking, Mark Thoriason. Oh, my effing G, Lorna. Yeah, it's the same thing with guys. When I was fat, remember, I lost 50 pounds. I lost a quarter of my body weight. I went from 220 to 175 pounds, basically. I was 40 pounds, maybe 50. And this bit, I used to have a lump. So did not seem as large. It did not seem as large. Okay. So where are we? What are we doing? Carrie's having her tea. I'm coming in late because I've been thinking about this. I'm gonna miss, if you write something right now, I'm gonna miss it. But so what we want to do is, by losing weight, guys, your wee is gonna seem larger. It's gonna seem larger because it's not gonna have that fat thing. You know, the fat's gonna, maybe we can see it here. The fat's gonna, whatever. Let's say you're like this, and then it gets bigger and bigger. It doesn't get bigger and bigger, but it pops out bigger and bigger. Lewis has been great the last few days. I don't think so. I fell asleep on the show yesterday, Mark, but I appreciate it. So that's the thing, Mark Thorosian. Yes, that's the way we pronounce his name. Okay, so That's what I'm saying. I'm saying to the women, if you want to be penetrated deeper, you have to get thin. We're all getting thin. I mean, I gained about 400 kilograms today. I had like chicken last night. I had some mozzarella cheese, and maybe I had some fruit because it's like the fruit is falling off the tree, so I feel like I've got to eat it. Okay. What don't we want to see? I can't believe he read the whole thing out, Steve. What does it mean? My hair. What is Steve's comment? Hold on. It was a great. What is that about me? If it's about me. Oh, for FF's sake. Thank you, Kerry. Get thin or get your bloke more drunk. Your bloke more drunk. Yeah. Yeah, but that gets her I don't know. I'm not this show fat shaming? Am I a fat shamer? Do you feel bad if you're a bit fat and you're hearing Lewis Schaffer speak about this so much? I was tired yesterday. I was very tired. I was up late last night. The night before. Last night I actually went to sleep a bit, but I woke up early. And for me, early is 10 o'clock in the morning. That is the opposite effect, says Joodles. I'm gonna wait. What time is it? Can I get? I'm gonna get a glass of water before I actually need a glass of water. I love these descriptions, Lewis. This is a fact. Okay. All right. I mean, this is so important. I mean, women are always saying, "I like my man to have a big," but they but I don't care if he's fat. It, yeah, you want a man who's thin, who's, you know, yeah, teacher is back. I'm teaching you people. But Steve, you're a bright guy. I can tell you're a bright guy. You could easily Google this. You could say, what happens when you lose weight? Does your wee wee get bigger? You could check that out. This is the best show ever. Say what you like. We are adult show. Yes, we're adult. We are adult. You're adult. Oh, look at this. We got somebody subscribed. John Stinchcomb has subscribed. That's really great. Thank you very much. Anyway, this is the best show ever. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there you go. Have I switched the sound off? Is that okay? Is that okay? Thank you very much for Alan Williams. Thank you very much. I want my money back. No, I went to the other room. You know that. Rather have a hot dinner. You rather be fat. You want it to go in, then you've got to lose some weight. You got to lose weight. And if you don't care about your husband. You don't care about yourself. So stop complaining. If you're fat, you're going to have bad sex. And it also, for men, it raises the estrogen levels. It's hard. I used to sleep in the bottom bunk here, and I was on the ground floor. I couldn't get out of bed because I was in such bad shape. No, he's not, Kerry. He's not. Please don't use his name. The producer is not here. He's working. I'm proud of him. I like my kids. I'm not that. I like. There you go. There you go, Lewis Schaffer. You don't need to spend any money, Cam. Here it is. He'll do it for free. I'll do it for free. I'll come to your house for free. Or you come to my house. But you come to my house. Okay. No, Kerry. This is an unproduced show. What did Kerry ask? No, it's unproduced. It's just me. I'm surprised it actually went on because it's something that I have to do. I'm screaming. Does it sound like I'm screaming? Because I'm right next to the microphone here. And we have the microphone so you can actually Okay. I don't know what that is. Is it on? Is it working? Is it working? It was going so well. This is one of the first shows. It wasn't this way. It wasn't me. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It picked up and hit mute. Maybe I did that. Where is the mute button? I don't know where the mute button. Could it be behind? Is there a mute button behind? I don't know. Whoa, hold on a second. Hold on. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? This should be better. Can you hear me now? Oh, my Lord, says Mary. And we're back in the room. Yeah, I think that's what makes this show the best show. It's the most, there used to be shows like this on cable in America in the 1980s or something. There used to be a lot of shows on regular TV, on Channel 9 in New York. Maybe Marianne knows. Channel 9. Volume up a bit, please. Okay, how is that? Is the volume up? I did know how to use the word snatch, and you didn't know. Hold on a second. What just happened there? That just jumped out of place. Claire C. will come to my house. Okay, we're taking a list of the people that have come to my house. Okay, you're doing silent comedy. That's what Marianne says. The mute button is where it's always been. I don't know where has it always been? Where is the mute? Where has it been? I'm looking here. Okay. The volume is fine, so we're going to leave it like that. Is this show outtakes of a different stream? No, it's just Lewis Schaffer. I prefer the word minge to snack. Are we allowed to be using these words? I don't know if we are. I mean, minge is a very Britishy word. Minge. GB News, they have severe sound issues. I mean, they spent a lot of money on that place. You know, they spent a lot of money. It's run by a lot of young kids, but they're good kids. They're good kids. My passport expired, so I can't go anywhere. Laugh out loud. So you can't visit Lewis Schaffer here. Joodles doesn't like that word. What about it? Is it horrific? No, it's, can be, but generally speaking, I don't think it is. It is horrific. Am I muted? Am I muted, Claire? Claire says I'm muted. We are all grown-ups. I know we're all grown-ups, but remember that who listens to this, Mr. YouTube, Joodles is throwing up. Joodles. Would Joodles like to write a little bit about what happened to her today? Am I allowed to even reveal that? You mentioned it. Are you allowed to reveal it? I didn't know the word snatch until 1986. A friend of mine asked, did she have a nice snatch mate? There are nicer words. You want your snatch, don't eat carbs. Carbs causes farting and bad breath and all that stuff. Just Google it. Don't listen to me. YouTube don't seem to care about anything besides copyright issues and talking about jibber jabbies and naughty politics. You could say whatever words you like besides grape and racial slurs, it seems. Well, he's 29 years old, Galactus. You're 29, so you know this stuff. You know this stuff. Oh, was the nurse in Fife? That wasn't you. Oh, I thought that was you. Okay. Anyway, okay. Someone who was in Love Actually in EastEnders has died, but I can't see who it was. Oh my God, is that news? Do you think that would be interesting to Lewis Schaffer? Kerry is eating her tea. She's gone mental. Nobody cares about EastEnders. EastEnders is on the BBC, and we don't watch the BBC. I'm glad we don't have that Ofcom in the U.S., but who knows who is censoring what at the end of the day? Well, we don't know. We don't know. After Joe Biden and those horrible years with Joe Biden. Wasn't Joe Biden horrible for Americans? Marianne, he was horrible. He's horrible, and they got the same system in this country now. That same system. The left and the right, all censoring stuff. Okay, it was GB News article. It disappeared. Disappeared. Emma Watson's been banned from driving too. Shame. She was pretty. I mean, her life is really sad. Her life is really sad because she's, her life is not really sad, but, I'll tell you why it's really sad. But I can't. I made a decision. Steak and Guinness pie. What is steak? Oh, it's one pie called steak and Guinness pie. Well, why don't you just have the steak and the Guinness and just not eat any of the carbs on the outside, even though I had a samosa today, which is basically the same thing. But I had half of it. I had half of the carbs. But something like that can push you over the edge. You weigh it. Maybe you should just take all the insides out, right? Insides out. And she's a feminist. That's what's wrong with her life. Emma Watson's a feminist, and she thinks work is more important than anything else, and I don't believe it. Joe Biden made a laughingstock of all Americans, Lewis. Yes, in fact, I would like to see if you can make it up a flight of stairs without falling up them. Well, I can. I'm in pretty good shape. I walk around the park and do 15,000 steps. Yeah. I know. This is what Lorna says, and have used it. Some people just deserve to be called on. I don't know what is that in reference to. Snatch was used in the early 70s, Dirty Harry film. Snatch. I don't know. I mean, all these words, they start out as meaning one thing and they're meaning something else. Are you confusing Emma Watson with someone else? Isn't she the woman in the J.K. Rowling thing? Was she the woman in the J.K. Rowling thing? No. Yes, she was. That's the word. Lamb burgers later on, yeah. Lamb is good. Lamb is like they call lamb land salmon. Ford was the president who was notorious for tripping, yeah. Chevy Chase used to spoof him on SNL. Yeah, he went to the same uni as I did, Chevy Chase. Emma Watson, the girl from Harry Potter. Yes, her. Yes, her. The girl from Harry Potter. Can't stand those Harry Potter kids. Yeah, because they weren't loyal to that woman. They weren't loyal. They all became multi-millionaires because of her. Because she created it. She thought of it. She was nice. Supposedly she was really nice. Okay? And she... Yeah. Yeah, bad. But, and then they want to be a feminist. They want to be a leftist. They want to hate men. They want kids to be trans because they're afraid to talk about it. But I'm afraid to talk about it. We're all afraid to talk about it. I'm against trans now. I think I'm against trans for adults. If someone wants to cut their willy off when they're old, whose business is it? But when they're young, I'm against it when they're old, but whose business is it when they're young? I never watched or read a Harry Potter film or book, Steve Cuff. Well, I'm glad to know that. I was actually interested in that. I was about to ask you that question. I thank you for coming in with that. But Claire says lamb is the tastiest meat. Well, it's got to be cooked. I can't eat raw lamb. I do eat raw lamb on the inside, but it's not quite as good as beef is raw. But it is really good. The books were better, yeah. The books were better. They were better. The old ones are the worst, Lewis. They're all AGPs. What is that? Children cannot... What does AGP mean? Can you just say, what does that mean, Joodles? The children cannot consent to this. It's all horrific and needs banning. Well, I think children, doing that to children should be banned, yeah. Yeah, the old ones, no, I don't know. But what is an AGP? Can you please explain that, Joodles? Galactus, did you like Fletch? I never really saw it. 1978, I didn't go to the movies to see those kind of films. I was watching a Werner Herzog at school. It is the only Chevy movie I ever liked, but I loved it so much when I saw it as a little boy. Okay, well, there are films you can see when they're a little boy. That doesn't mean they're good films. Does that mean they're good films? I'm not sure. Marianne McCara says she loves roast lamb with mashed potatoes, buttered carrots, buttered biscuits. I got a better idea for you. Skip the potatoes and just have the butter. Skip the carrots and just have the butter. Skip the biscuits and just have the butter. President Ford, right. He famously fell over skiing. You know what? He wasn't considered a bright guy. Well, why was he put into place? Why was he put into place? What was Fletch from 1985? I don't even remember. 1985. I didn't see any movies in those years. Those are the after college years. I actually had a life. No, it's very different when you're young. I watched Bill and Ted back as an adult, and it's pretty awful. Yeah, some of those films can be really, really. Where do you live, Galactus? Please tell me so I can just put a picture on it. I can't believe we don't have American biscuits in the UK like you get them at KFC. That's true. That's true. I mean, I was in KFC. I'm trying to remember when I turned 60. So that's 8 years ago. And he's in Rotherham. Okay. And I love Holland. I just want to let you know. I love Rotherham in Holland. No, you're in Southwest London, Lewis. Laugh out loud. Rotherham is so random. So he's not there. So you were just kidding. You were just kidding about the Rotherham thing. Anyway, so what was I saying? I was saying, we went to KFC in our very, very dingy Brooklyn community we're in KFC. And the extras are so good, but they're toxic. They're toxic. You know, you can't be eating them. How many Americans on this chat? I don't think there are any except for Marianne. Who else is there? No, Rotherham is definitely Rotherham, says Dr. Sexy. Welcome to the chat, Dr. Sexy. Christmas Vacation, when the poor cat dies under the Christmas tree. Laugh out loud. Now, you know, these are not my favorite movies, but you can enjoy them and you can talk about them if you want to. That was a close-knit group of American comedy actors. Belushi, dead. Aykroyd, not dead. John Candy, fat and dead. Belushi, fat and dead. I don't know if fat killed him. And Bill Murray, kind of bad skin, ugly. Not really that ugly, but, you know, bad skin. Stripes and other films, they were great, yeah. It was sort of a second. I mean, I like the film from the 1970s, like Chinatown or whatever, Apocalypse Now. But that was a very good era for films. My favorite film, who remembers what my favorite film was? I'm just going to see if you guys were listening. Comic Strip was great in the UK. I haven't seen that. I've been meaning to see that. It's the other one, like Whitnall and Son. Belushi and Candy, Canadian. Yeah, but sorry, Joodles. Beverly Hill Cops 2. No, that wasn't my favorite film. Groundhog Day. Is that my favorite film? Yes, it was. Mark J. I'd like to give Mark J a star for actually listening to me. Not The Deer Hunter. I did not like The Deer Hunter. It was like one of those post-Vietnam War films. Goodfellas, was a really good film. Very, very, really good film. It was like the, you know what film it reminded me of now? It reminded me of Breaking Bad and that level of intensity. Brokeback Mountain was my favorite movie. Thank you, Galactus. I've never seen it. Maybe I'm afraid to see it. Legally Blonde. I thought she was so beautiful. I never saw it. I thought she was so beautiful. Groundhog Day, Alan Williams. Thank you very much. Isn't Canada America yet? You know what? Who knows what's going to happen? At some point, we're not going to want it to be America because it's going to be like Britain. It's going to be so bad. It's on the way to getting bad, Canada. It's filled with that guy who was head of our Federal Reserve Bank, whatever they call it. SCTV. I used to love SCTV. I got a picture of what's his name. Hold on a second. Hold on. This is a good time to mention. Who mentions not Second City TV, The Boys in the Hood. What is it called? The Boys in the Hood. The Boys in the Hood. The Boys in the Hood. Hold on a second. What do I have? I don't have it here. I don't have it. Oh, that's sad. That's sad. I don't have it here. I have a picture of me with the boys. What is it called? The Boys in the Hood. Dueling Banjos. Deliverance is one of my top 10 favorite films. Yes, it is. If I have to remember it. Groundhog Day, Deliverance, Apocalypse Now, Chinatown. Then 4 of my top 10 films. What's the other one? What's the other one with Dustin Hoffman and Tom Cruise? Okay, Carrie. I don't think I've ever seen anyone's with Carrie that I liked as much. What's the one with the Rain Man? Rain Man was one of my favorite films. I mean, I haven't seen it in a while. Rain Man, exactly. Thank you, Mark. Rain Man. What a great film Rain Man was. What a really great film about a child who didn't receive enough love from his mother, and he became distant and cold. And then basically he didn't become a genius, but you focus your mind and you can count up the number of things I could do stuff like that. That's what happens when you don't get enough love from your mother. That's why we have to put Mark Carney, exactly, Paul Morris. That's why we've got to push the love. SCTV first filmed here in Edmonton. Oh, that's nice. That's nice, Edmonton. The Onion Fields. I've never seen the Onion Fields. Is that the one? Is that the one about Cambodia? Is that the one about Cambodia? It's such a sad story. So Rain Man is right, Joe and Kerry and Mark J. And Mark J gets a star for knowing that Groundhog Day is maybe my favorite film. You could do stuff like that, Lewis. If you had any industriousness. Yeah, probably I can do it. The fact is, this is 36 days of doing this. 36 days. I mean, is it an actual thing? This show? Blazing Saddles, another one. Brilliant. 47 people. Thank you, Kinsey. Is this an actual show? No. But we're doing something. We're here for 3 hours. We're trying to be interesting. I'm trying to be as interesting as I can for 3 hours. It's not just about me. I know it's just about me, but I'm trying to be interesting. And maybe someone's going to watch this and say, oh my God, this is the most amazing program because it's so random. Is this show I said It's a Wonderful Life. I used to be one of my top favorite films. Rachel, thank you for mentioning that, but it's not because it's a socialist commie, anti-capitalist, anti-American propaganda garbage. I don't know if I believe all those words. If anyone hasn't seen Chinatown, Faye Dunaway had her kid and her dad was the father. That's just part of the story. I didn't even understand that. Yeah, Chinatown was an amazing film. SCTV did a very funny parody of the historical films that Richard Burton, Richard Harris, and Peter O'Toole did. Yeah, they did some great films. Whatever happened to not Rosemary's Baby? What was the film that Richard Burton was in with what's her name? Elizabeth? That was an amazing film. Get Carter, I saw later. I didn't dislike it. What are you asking? Dee Pleckham is here. Thank you, Dee. Thanks for joining us. The Onion Field about corrupt cops, based on a novel by Joseph Wambaugh. I've never seen it. I was thinking The Other Field, The Killing Fields, was the film about Cambodia with that woman. That would be The Killing Fields, Lewis. Yes, thank you, Lucy. Yeah, Cleopatra. No, the film where he's a teacher at school, and the two of them are they're married and they're drunks, and she is married to she's the daughter of the head of the school, and he's just a low life teacher, an alcoholic, got his job. The stud never saw it. Singo. And what's the film I'm talking about? It was by what's his name? Come on, let's go. Do I have to look it up? The Killing Fields about Khmer Rouge genocide. You star. I star, says D.D. Pleckham. I appreciate that so much. I do appreciate it. But what is the name of the film with Richard Burton? The Man Who Would Be King of the Popes, says Paul Morris. Don't remember that. Mike Oldfield, 19. Don't know where that comes from. Okay, you're gonna make me look. I'm gonna have to look. You ready to look? Are you ready to look? We're gonna go over here and we're gonna look. Richard Burton films 1966. I think it was 1966. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? Can you see that? Can everybody see that? Let's just see if everybody can see that. Can everybody? No, that's not it. What happened here? Window capture. Match. Where is that? Settings for window capture. Google Chrome. Could this be it? Yeah, this could be it. Can you see this? Can everybody see this window capture screen? Can you see that? Thank you, Lucy. Always, I got to make sure that I should check with Lucy before I go to the effort of doing this. So there you go. French Connection. That was another great film, The French Connection. Not one of my top films, but really good films. And I filmed it in New York when New York was dingy, and then it stopped being dingy, and maybe it's getting dingy. You said it, Lewis. Yeah, you did say it. I appreciate that. Alan Hudson's here. I appreciate Lucy. Do you think that I don't appreciate you, Lucy? Let's get back to basics. Do you think I do not appreciate you? What the nice music. We're Eagles Dare with Richard Burton. I didn't think that was a great movie, but it might be. Groundhog Day, Steve Cuff, is one of my... Oh, now we're making jokes. It's one of my favorite movies, Groundhog Day. I cried because you felt he wasn't loved. Maybe neither of them were loved. There wasn't enough love, and they kind of fell for each other. But what did what's his name do? He put him back in the home. He could have been living with him, whatever. What incredible scenes where he's getting on an airplane. He says, I can't fly that plane because the plane crashed 1957 in Munich. I can't fly that plane. I can't fly in that airline because of whatever. I think he only wanted to fly Qantas. And then probably, has Qantas's planes ever crashed? I never watched that movie. I think I might be on, okay. At Manchester United Football Club, Liam. He says, when are you next on GB News? You are hilarious. Thank you very much. Well, are you on Twitter? Go on Twitter and tweet that out and say, Lewis, I want Lewis on GB News. That's maybe what we need to do. I love Cars and late Ryan O'Neal. Rest in peace. Driver. Isn't that the one where the guy's racing across America? He's got to get to San Francisco. It's like he's on drugs. That was a great... War of the Worlds album was Richard Burton's finest. I don't know that. But I did see War of the Worlds, and I like that movie. With it basically, where the earth basically exploded. Benny Hill did a very funny parody of Richard Burton Elizabeth Taylor film based on a play by Albee, which is the one that I'm talking about. Have you ever seen The Pawnbroker? Yes, I did, and it really had an impact on me. I don't remember anything about it. It's all about the Jews. It's all about the immigrant Jews and the problems that they had. And then they had Amarin. Do we keep Amarin? What is? Was Amarin a Manchester United player? Wuthering Heights, yeah, which is the one where the crazy lady was in the attic. Is that Wuthering Heights, or was that the other one? There's two of them at the exact same. The Pawnbroker is a great film, but oh so sad. Yeah, really, really sad. Okay, hold on. Someone sent me a private message. Okay, now I've got to see it. Hold on a second. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. I could check on my phone. Here's my phone. Here's my iPhone 18. My iPhone 18. Okay. All right. So there we go. So let's get back on track. Where are we? Listen, Lewis, isn't it great that we all love you at stupid o'clock in the morning? Well, I mean, this is not on at stupid o'clock, but it is great. I do appreciate that. Jane Eyre is the other one. Thank you, Galactus. Thank you, Joe, Jane Eyre. Thank you, Kerry, Jane Eyre. Thank you, Joe. Exactly. Maltese Phil comes in there. Thank you, Maltese Phil. I'm a United fan, and I think we keep Amarin for one more season. Okay. I mean, I know we're not allowed to like United, but I think they're better than they're much better than City. I hate to say it, because City is basically bought by by those bad people. They bought by those people. It's a money lending operation. Okay, and he's sending a letter to Joodles, MUFC. He's saying I would sack Ineos and the Glazers. I thought the Glazers are gone. Aren't the Glazers gone? I think they're gone. Aren't they gone? Who made 11 films? Let me just go back here. The Jeff Wayne novel. That wasn't made by Richard Burton. Was it made by Richard Burton? So Chris King is here. Chris King, who made 11 films together? Richard Burton. It's Rose. What about Rose? Could be Rose. I'm not going to say who it was, but it could be Rose. It could be Rose. It's a Nokia 3210, Lewis. And we all know it. You're always giving away my secrets, Judels. This is why. Very bad. That's Vanishing Point. That's the film Vanishing Point. You remember that? With somebody Newman, and where he's cycling across the country in a big fat American car. Not cycling, is speeding across the country. The Lost in Space film, horrific. We're talking about good films. That's how we get to be happy. There's 1:16 here in New York, and it's another broiling hot day. How hot is it? How hot? Sam S. coming in here. Hello, Sam. How are you? We haven't done any of our health checks yet because we started off very strong because I felt so bad about yesterday. Let's see what the weather is here. It's 25 degrees here in Nunhead. What's the temperature in New York? 56 people. Is that true, Kinsey? I don't believe that it's 56 people watching. Let me check to see if it's 56. I don't believe it. Because I was just, 56. Let's just see how many there are. We're checking the weather. We're checking this.
For defrauding the government for over a decade, the crimes unit is now investigating.
Okay.
The Biden auto pens. Biden auto.
I mean, I don't know how this says. This says there's 905, 55 watching now. 55. That's really good news. That's so good. That's really good. That's really good news. Caterpillar or Centipede? I remember the game when you had to be really bored to play that game. Okay, it could be a snake. It could have been snake. Anyway, I thought it was called Snake. I have to reiterate myself down below. Hold on. 55. That's so good. That's really good. I guess because last week they had the tennis was on. My son the director has started to produce tennis. He's only got a small share, Liam. He can't boot them all. Okay. Okay, thank you. I think you were talking about me, Judels. Harry Newman, that's the guy's name in Vanishing Point. I think it was kind of a classic film. There was another film that was made by, what's his name? By Spielberg. What was it called? Where he's being chased by a truck that's trying to kill him in the desert. Really low budget. It was fantastic. Do you remember that movie, the Spielberg film? What was it called? Now I got to look that up. It was called... I'm not going to look. I'm going to ask the people. BBC are finally looking to overhaul the license fee, as another 300,000 people have now canceled their TV license. Yeah, this is what I wanted to discuss. They've canceled it, or maybe they're not paying. They keep on sending me stuff. It's not supposed to be a tax. I read that about the 300,000 more homes. I don't trust those. Duel, that was the name of the film, 1971. It was a great film. When did Vanishing Point come out? Could have come out maybe the same year, maybe. Yeah, it was one of those first where John Williams did the score too, I think. Yeah, it was a very Dodge Charger in Vanishing Point. Yeah, really powerful. Powerful engine. Duel. Lucy comes in with the win. You were second this time, but very good. It's 83 degrees here, but very humid. If you add, Marianne, the humidity, if it comes out above 150 maybe, you are severely hot. 150 here, luckily the humidity very rarely raises above 60%, I don't know. And the humidity and the temperature very rarely, like today, it's 25 degrees. What is that? That's about 76 degrees maybe. Vanishing Point, didn't see it. I recommend it. It was just like a nothing of a film. Lewis is a Palace fan and a Mets fan. I'm a Yankees fan. Yeah, Yankees. Okay, you be whatever fan you want to. Groundhog Day. That's a joke. Put a symbol for laughing so I know you're making a joke. Duel. That's a film. It's worth seeing. They filmed it in the desert in California. That's where I'd like to live, in the desert in California, and do bad things to people who drive by on their way out of Phoenix across escaping with the money that you've stolen, and then you're about to die. What film is that? What film is that? Someone is stealing money. He's also a Sunderland fan and a Chelsea fan and a Liverpool fan. Yeah, and that's my team. Yeah, thank you, Joodles, for listening to me. Yeah, it's my team. It's my team, Lewis. Yeah, I like all those teams, and I'm even like Man City. I'm an England supporter. I'm also a Sam Allardyce supporter. So there you go. You know, you got to support the home team, but Crystal Palace is my home team, and the fact that they're not going into the third level of the Europa League is something worth protesting. I think. Have you been following that, Lewis? I don't know about this American football stuff. Well, you don't need to know anything about it. Why do you need to know about it? Spielberg's first, exactly. That was Spielberg's first film. He was a young kid. He was like in his 20s. He was younger than everybody here, even younger than Galactus. Fear is the Key, another Barry Newman film. He was probably Jewish. Was Barry Newman Jewish? I bet he was Jewish. Of course he was Jewish. All the great ones, not all the great ones, but he was, you know. But that's what has to happen. Barry Newman. Let's see whether he was. He was. Oh my God, he reminds me of my relatives. Petrocelli. He was on a TV show in Petrocelli, as an Italian, but he probably wasn't an Italian. Barry Foster Newman. His personal life. Angela Newman. He was a resident of He died, and again until his death. He died. That's how he died. But does it say how he lived? His early life. His mother was from Belarusia, Ostrovsky, and an Austrian father. Yeah, these are Jewish names. He graduated Brandeis. He's a Jewish guy. But you don't want to admit that you're Jewish. They say, we're not going to hire you anymore. Maybe that's what's happened to me. Okay, maybe that's what happened to me. We love Barry Newman. So my father used to get loads of junk mail. He, says Steve Cuff, he would take the reply envelope, swap it, the different companies' paperwork over, and send it back. He hasn't paid a license fee for years. Yeah, maybe that's what you got to do. I'm not promoting criminality. If this is criminality, if you don't listen to it or watch it, I don't think you have. Maybe they're going to say, oh, you're watching it here, you're live streaming it here. I haven't been told that. Yes, it's a great shame for Crystal Palace not to get into Europe after the mistakes of the owners. Yeah. Oh, no. It wasn't scored by Williams. It was scored by Billy Goldenberg. Okay, Wrexham and Edmonton Oilers, both home teams at times. Why not? You got to be loyal to your team, loyal to your country, loyal to your team. I'm a patriot. I'm a nationalist right now. Was Barry Newman related to Gary Newman? Was the other brother Larry Newman? Okay, that's funny. I like Gary Newman a lot. We can talk about that later. Galactus sounds like he could be one of Lewis's sons. He's old enough to be 20. I'm 68. I was 30 years old. No, 40 when I had him. Always loyal to the whole team, Steve. He supports 21 Premier League teams a week. It depends. No, I don't. But there's nothing that makes people happier than when you support their home team. Am I right? It does. So Bacon, this is the producer's friend, Bacon of the Dark Side. You are the youngest person in the room. I think Bacon is. Anyway, I don't know if I'm going on GB News tomorrow. I don't know. Harry Redknapp. I don't know. He wasn't that bad. He wasn't that great either. He was like a typical English manager. We're ahead by 1-0. We got to hold the score. I saw that recently. Horrific viewer for a claustrophobic like me. What did you see? What did Lucy see? I missed that. Anyway, American Jewish comedians are the best. Hilarious stuff. Well, maybe they all used to be the best, but a lot of them are horrible now. I used to be a New York Jets fan. Yeah, I was a Jets fan Giants, Jets. Then I switched to Cowboys later. Still have a soft spot for the Jets. Well, they were like the Manchester City of New York. They won in 1969 or 70, whenever the Super Bowl was. But they're not. Whatever. Okay. Hey, Peep, says Leanne. Hey, Leanne, you came in late. I actually posted your calendar. Mr. Schaffer, do you mind if I call you Uncle Lewis from now on as a sign of respect? No, call me Daddy. Call me Daddy. I don't get that from my kids enough. Lewis is not a financial advisor or criminal advisor, as his opinions on this show are purely for entertainment purposes. If you do commit a crime, however, please share the spoils with Lewis. Thank you, Galactus. Yeah, kind of, yeah. I mean, I don't know what I'm telling you to do. I don't believe the things that I believe in, but, anyway. Are you coming to Old Trafford with me then, Lewis? Will you shout out for your night? Yeah, I will, because they're Jews. The Glazers are Jews. They're Jews. Anyway, got Portsmouth winning the FA Cup final, though. Hooray. Yeah, Portsmouth. Well, Cox. Our man. Okay, where are we? Let's go. Fear is the key, says Lucy. Okay, I've never heard of that. Let me write that down. Maybe we should look that up. Fear is the key. I wish I had time to watch this stuff when I'm sitting here, or not even here. Speaking of Harry Redknapp, yeah. Joodles, he should go soon. It won't be much longer. You're not being canceled by the chat. Are you being canceled, Watanabe? Lewis Schaffer loves you. Okay, I'm missing everything. What are we doing? What is much longer? Anyway, you're on the Old Trafford bus, Leanne. Yeah, she's on the bus, Lewis. If you ever go on tour, can we write the review quotes for your posters? Yeah, that sounds interesting. If you promise not to make them too horrible or too fawning. Lost the thread. I just had to wipe a bum. You had to wipe a bum. All right. Listen, let me stick to the dirty stuff. Not the same as it used to be. The Premier League is all about money. And it was never about other things. It was always about money. People that are always fighting. Who saw Leeds United, whatever that movie is called. Whatever the movie with Michael, whatever the guy's name, Michael Sheen. I know I haven't been to Old Trafford for 20 years. I haven't been there either. I've only been to a few of the stadiums. I've been to Villa Park. I've been to Chelsea. I've been to Fulham. I've been to Tottenham. I've been to Palace. I've been to whatever it is, Selhurst Park. I know I haven't been. Okay. True, Steve. What a shame. What are you saying? Not the same as it used to be. It's not all about money, Joodles. It's not. It's not about money. And it is about money. It's always about money. It's always going to be about Damned United, Galactus. Great, great, great film. Damned United. Great film. Really well done. There's a British film that they make. They've got all the wardrobes. Very good. Team World are on to me. Yeah, could be. They could be on to me. I feel it. They're on to me. I used to support Leeds United, and then football got ruined. I mean, I supported Leeds United for a bit because they were bankrupt. But they were also, anyway, I've never, so Leanne says, I see. You're more interesting than me then, Watanabe. I'm just ignored. You're not ignored by Lewis Schaffer. Lewis Schaffer's not ignoring you. Oh, Lord, I thought it was the morning. No, it's not the morning. Arsenal Stroll has just won the European Cup again. I've been living in the country. I remember living in the country, and I came to the country when it was all Arsenal was winning. And all those people who became Arsenal fans, winning. Puppet on a String, Bear Island. I don't know about these movies. Michael Spleed. Okay, I didn't mean as a joke. Michael Sheen. He's a great actor, Michael Sheen. But I remember when all Arsenal did was win. Do you remember that? They only won. And do you remember all those people? You could look at somebody, and based on their skin color, you could say, you're an Arsenal supporter. Because they loved, a lot of those people liked Arsenal. Maybe it was the first team that was really good to the black people. So they liked Arsenal. It was like when my father's team, the Brooklyn Dodgers, had Jackie Robinson join them. And suddenly everybody went, this is great. This is great. I was a Man United fan since a child, says Steve Cuff. I don't watch the Premier League anymore. I find the women's game is better. Do the women's have a game, except complaining they're not being paid enough money while no one is watching them? I find the women's game is better. The women don't dive about and complain as much as the millionaires. They don't dive because they've got very weak muscles down there in their hips, and they could break themselves. Lorna, yeah, that's right. What did you see recently? Bear Island, very good. What was Bear Island about? That was just a woman transferred. There was just a woman transferred for $1 million. Yeah. Tell me that team is making money. They're not making money. Probably. That's what I've heard. I don't care. If you want to I don't believe. I saw some women playing in the park. They just. I shouldn't even be saying this. Why bother? I know people are going to say that I'm horrible. I want to apologize out there. I apologize for not liking women's sports. I don't like it. Don't see the point of it. It's not that important to women. Very weak hips. They could break themselves. Well, look it up. Look it up, Joodles. Do women have weak hips that makes them more susceptible to football injuries? I don't watch women's football, but I might watch women's basketball because Cameron Brink has the same name as me and number 22, and I was born on the 22nd of December. Who is Cameron Brink? I never even heard of her. You're not even a woman, but that's nice of you. Michael Spleed supports the Hearts and Liverpool. Well, he's Welsh, right? Do the Welsh... Where in Wales is he from? Michael's, not Spleen, Sheen. I like women's beach volleyball. Yeah, I do. They bounce around a lot. Yeah. They bounce around. It was Arsenal who paid the first £1 million for a female player. They're probably thinking this is good PR. Probably. She's a basketball player, says Cameron Brink. The Grangemouth refinery owner is part of Man U. Why are they part of Man U? Have they bought Man U? Who owns Man U? I don't think the Glazers own Man U. Yeah. I can't say that word, Lorna, but yeah. Women's football was not full of rich men at the beginning. No sport was. No sport was. The women's team will be the same in generations to come. No, it won't, because this country won't want to allow women's football. Sorry. Men will make money off women, I predict. No. They won't let women play. They won't let us have dogs, eat pork, cover our faces. Any of this stuff, it's all over. Say goodbye to it. Say goodbye to it. Let's learn to love what we have. Let's learn to love each other. No interest in football, says Steve Cuff, anymore. Watch the few women's internationals last week at my mother's house. I'm more and more into rugby and road racing. Those road racers have balls. Yeah, they do. They do. I appreciate you telling me this, but was anybody interested in what your opinion was? Okay, it was an organ joke. He's from South Wales. It's a joke you made. It was a joke that was made. I missed that. Okay. Women's football is not the same as men's periods, because men don't have periods. Period. Any man watching women's football is a weirdo. I don't, you know what? You know what my feeling is. You know my feeling. I don't want to say what it is. Let us pay if they can make, they will let us pay if they can make money off of it. What does that mean? Pay to get in? Maltese Phil is a good lad. What did Maltese Phil? I'm a simple man. I like beer, beef, and boobies. Yeah, could be. Could be simple. Anyway, hold on a second. Okay, hold on a second. Someone just sent me a message that I don't know what they mean. What did they mean? Please write some more. Glazers own 48%. They are majority owners still. Is that true? They still own 48%. The other guy, who's the guy? The vacuum cleaner guy. Is he the guy? Not the vacuum cleaner guy. The guy, what's the other guy? Does he own it? That's really interesting. MUFC. Well, what happens if you change your team? You're stuck with MUFC. You can't change your team. Yes, totally different game, but money is money in a rich man's world. I don't want to see women hurting themselves unless it's whatever. No, I don't want to see women hurting themselves. I'm eating a delicious steak, and it's so tempting to stoke up the juice with bread. Good job. I don't have any. Exactly. You don't need. You just bring it to your thing. Sir Jim owns only 28%. How much is the team worth? Do you remember the debt that they had? Do they still have debt? I can't stand women's football. My daughter goes mad at me. What does that mean? Because she's into it? Because that's what they do. There won't be a women's football in 20 years. Change your team. Wash your mouth out, Lewis. Well, I can't change my team. I'm a New York Mets fan growing up. I'm a New York Giants fan growing up. You can't change a team. Is there a joke emoji so Lewis can recognize jokes? There is a joke emoji. We should all use it, or just maybe put LOL or something, or just say that was a joke. So I don't come across as being so dim. Do I come across as being so dim? Anyway, what year was he born? What year was he born? He was born in 1930, Barry Newman. Barry Newman. Yes, over 1 billion, including player transfers, still owed to football fans. What do you mean by that? From the Glazers to football clubs? Yes, over 1 billion. Is that the answer to my question? Shareholders own the rest. Okay. Yes, over 1 billion, including player transfers, still owed to football clubs. Yeah. Could be. Kerry, could be. I can't reveal anything like that. It could be you who's calling me. It could be you. Chris King has this smiley face, I guess. What is the Bear Island movie? So Judas is laughing. Okay. I want to talk about some other things, but I need to stop. I need to fill my glass up with more water. Can I go in? I'm going to go in the other room and just get some more water. Okay. I'm a Knicks fan. Yeah. I'm a Knicks fan because you come from New York. Those are your teams. You couldn't sit there and say, "Oh, I like the Lakers." That's not right. Just because they won last year and they didn't win this year. Go. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Lovely chair back. Look at that. I mean, I've gained 400 grams from yesterday, but I'm looking all right. I'm not as happy as I need to be. I'm trying to be very thin. Okay, now this is me. Is the camera really fuzzy? Might be. Is that better? Is it fuzzy? Okay, let's get back on track. Let's get back on track. I'm going to start at the top of the page. Okay. So Chris King's a Knickers fan. Okay, that with a joke symbol. Well done. That's the way it is. Is it just me, or is the camera really fuzzy today? Do I seem fuzzy? I can't tell. I'm on full screen here. Am I taking up the entire screen? Tell me he's not an AGP, please. God, Kinsey. What does AGP stand for? Just sort of spell it out incompletely. And nobody say it. Okay. I wish, Lewis. What do you wish? What do you wish, Kerry? That you're sending me messages? Okay. Lucy says, and Donald Sutherland, Simon, I really like the score too. What are you talking about with Simon? I don't see Simon's thing. Is Simon not coming out on this? Let me see. Let me just lift up. Simon. I don't see Simon. No. 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 Okay, it's not here. Anyway. What are you talking about? What to Simon? I don't see what that is. Okay. My cousin's granddaughters are fabulous footballs. Yeah, because they train people to be footballs. They also train you to cut your willies off. They also train you to hate, people who want their whatever it is. They're teaching people this football business because they don't want us to have children. They don't want us to have children. The biggest lie ever. Biggest lie ever. Okay. Get yourself down to Marks and Spencer's, Chris. They got loads. This is what Lud says. I missed this too. No. Okay, there you go. Then maybe you are my girlfriend. Actually, my 3-year-old grandson is a great footballer. Yeah, let the boys play. They have so little in this world. Let them play sports. Let them have their own locker room. The girls can have their own, whatever they want to do. Let's you know what? Anyway, as a 6-year-old who is getting a football, I know a 6-year-old who's getting a football contract. Yeah, they got to get them early. Well, we had some top players playing out by Peckham Rye Park at the Athenley football ground. We had Rio Ferdinand. I think he came from out of there. They can spot him early, and you got to start early. You can't just suddenly say, "Oh, I'm 21. I'd like to get a football contract." It's like being a comedian. You start early, or you're supposed hope to start early. It's all carbs. Rose is jealous of me and Claire. Yeah. I don't know if she is. I don't think she is. I don't know if she is. I don't know if she is. I don't know if she is. I mean, if she really loved me, she'd have the same political thoughts about everything as I do, and she does not. But what was Lucy saying with the Donald Sutherland thing? I remember when I saw you typed in capitals, Leanne. Where was that? Yes, like and subscribe, people. Like and subscribe. Let's get some more people here. I'm approaching 100. I had a very quick gain, and now it's kind of like leveled off because I guess we're all subscribed, right? It doesn't cost anything to be subscribed. What costs is if you want to go into Patreon. That's subscribed. I'd appreciate that. I think I made a Patreon for £3. So, it's money. It's going to me. I shouldn't say this. I actually need the money. I mean, I'm not getting any money from GB News. I'm not doing any comedy shows. So where's my acting? I had 8 days acting work, and they called me up to cancel it 2 days beforehand. That was starting today. I'm predicting 1 million patriots on Free Speech Day on September 13th, a very important day. Yes, yes. Let me put that in my calendar. Everybody, why is that? Is that going to be a pro Britain day? Is it going to be a pro Britain day, Free Speech Day? Jay Evans, and where is it going to be? Or is it going to be in all the different places? I've got my phone. I'm gonna put it in my phone. Can we have a little bit more information about this? Who is talking about Free Speech Day? Jay Evans. Let's talk about it. Oh my God, great news, Joodles. Is this the case you're interested in? That the nurse who didn't want to share the women's toilet with trans and was sacked for gross misconduct won her case, yeah. I mean, maybe we'll be saved by the judicial system, like in America. I'm not so sure. Okay. Julie, you did the £3.50 Patreon. Get you. But you guess that the whole 100% industriousness is used up there. I guess that the whole 1% get you. What does that mean? That means good job. I get you. I get. Was that what that means, Jules? Yeah. I put down £3, 50. I don't know what. No, that I'll have to check it out. I mean, I think I did it. Yeah. I mean, I went online and I did it, but maybe I didn't press. A lot of times I forget to press the send button. So, but yeah, I've got a bit more industriousness. I'm gonna have to be really industrious. Kiss King, that's me out. Don't wear them. Okay. I like the breeze. Okay, I'm not reading now. Now I'm having a 5 minute slight dip. It's only gonna last 5 minutes. No, I meant £3 in $3. $3. I think the £5 the £3.50 is the $5 one. Let me multiply that. I'm going to multiply that. What is £5? What is $5 in pounds? What is $5 in UK pounds? Okay. Yeah, that's basically it's £3.72 in sterling. So it's $5. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Okay. I don't know what this is. Okay, you can love Britain without loving the royal family in this country, or at least the present. I still wash my Fandango. Lorna, you're too dirty. You're too dirty. It's my pay. Did someone put this on my Patreon? Is that what this is? Who said this? Who gave this speech? Do I have to check my? Here, hold on 1 second. I hope my bank details don't come out. I'm gonna put this on. I'm gonna go check on the computer. Okay. Where is going on here? Where is going on? I don't get it. I don't know what this. Oh, here it is. That's here. I don't know. Well, somebody posted something about. Oh my God! I'm so secretive. I can't find it. So let's get back to this thing. Let's get back to this thing. Oh my God! It's almost 7 o'clock. Fandango, do the fandango. My dad just texted me to say Sandy Peggy in the OK Doobs. What does that mean? Is OK Doobs after the break. What does that mean? Leanne, do the fandango. Was washing your fandango. It just has Patreon, not your bank details. Okay. All right. So whatever we do. Loving the word fandango. Okay. I'm missing something. Oh, she's on Doobs on GB News. Sandy Peggy, after the break. Okay. It just has Patreon, not your bank details, Simon Arnold says. Okay. So is that the nurse? That woman is the nurse. She has not won yet, Lewis. She's just been dismissed for gross misconduct. So what does that mean? She wants her job back, or she wants to get money, Joodles? Who knows what the story is? Who knows what the story is? So if you give me $5, that's like £3.50. Let's see. Okay. Carbs. Come and ride bus Schaffer. Steve, I got to write that down. That could be very good. Carbs. Come and ride bus. Come and ride bus Schaffer. Yeah, that's very good. Are we going to discuss this thing? Are we going to discuss what's going on with this woman? Who is the one? Is her name Sandy Peggy? Is that her name? Is that her name? Okay. Lauren is being very dirty. We're not dirty on here. We're dirty back at my place. You come and visit Lewis Schaffer and you get dirty. Anyway. Yes, you smutted me out. You smutted me out. Great stream, Lewis. I need to... Okay. Don't... First of all, you got to lose weight, number one. Number two, if you go in the future, don't say you're going. Just go, because it really makes me really upset when somebody goes. You've stayed for a long time. I really appreciate it. So a big round of applause for Cam. But in the future, don't say you're going. Please, nobody say. Okay, while I was in the gym, a video was on of the ladies' squats competition. It's not healthy for women, not healthy for anybody to do that much exercise. And especially then taking the drugs and they got hairy face. We don't need to know this. I don't want to be involved in that, basically. You know, but I don't want to be involved, but you want to be dirty, Lewis Schaffer. Be dirty to me. Be dirty. I'll come to your place. I'll come to your place. Okay, how many viewers do we have on tonight? How many viewers do we have on? The things we haven't discussed about. Can we discuss my mental capacity? I know we've been talking about you people. 35. You know what's funny is, like, a friend of mine says, you know what you could do to get more people involved, become more interactive. And I said, 37, thank you, Alan. There's no way I could be any more interactive than I am. This is the most interactive program out there. Is that right? Especially, she's suing NHS Fife. Is ongoing. So they haven't made a decision yet. How did I know they didn't make a decision? Hey, Kinsey, is that this show is perhaps the most interactive show out there, if you call it a show. The fact that I'm here every single day is quite, you're seeing this is the other name. It's so interactive, viewers frequently find Lewis in their home. Yeah, maybe it could happen. Bill Ramadapier is sticking up for her on Dubes. Bill Ramit. I don't know who that is. But that's a jokey name, very funny name. Because the thing that because I'm concerned about this. Bull Rammel. I don't know who that is. Mental capacity. Yeah, is that I'm really worried. I'm not as worried as I was. The thing about this show is this stops me from being worried. It stops me from being worried. And okay, well, maybe we should find. So what's going on with this case, and what can we do about it? You'll be okay, Lewis, to hold the show together. Yeah, okay, I'm holding the show together. I can hold the show together, but I'm saying, what about the country? How can I hold which side is this? The right side? Is this the right side? I can't tell. Is that the right side? I'm not working tomorrow, so I'm enjoying a bottle of red wine. My mental capacity is diminishing as we speak. That actually sounds really great. That sounds so good. It's good to talk. And so I was told, I would say, you know what, you're seeing gloom and doom everywhere, Lewis. And she's saying that I'm using it as an excuse. I'm using the Jewish thing as an excuse because I've been changed. I'm changed as a person by being it's like when you're British, you grow up a certain way. And then you go to other places and maybe there's not as much order, and you say, I want order. I'm British, I want order. And they say, oh, you're mental because you're British, you know. It's you want order. Important to broadcast every day, Lewis. It will build up the numbers. Okay, thanks, Susan. Good to see you. Yeah, well, I hope so. I hope so. Is it building up the numbers? I don't know. We've basically maintained the same numbers, basically. Twitter just forced me to delete my anti-man post to unlock my account. I don't like that, Lucy. I don't want you to be locked, Lucy. You know why? Nothing. I've changed my thought. But nobody can hold the country together. I share your anxiety. Yeah, and maybe my anxiety is growing because who am I talking to? 3 pounds from Little, and it's really good. I should have brought a box. Is that the Little down there in Malta? Yeah, that's really cheap. 3 pounds for a bottle? It's so cheap. How much is a bottle here in this country? 8, 9 pounds now, right? I haven't even bought a bottle of wine in so long. I follow many anti-men accounts on X. Lewis, are there more calories in red wine than in white? I think there's good question. Good question. Does anybody know the answer to that? I'll pretend like I know the answer. I'll pretend that I know the answer. How about that? I'm going to pretend 100 grams of white wine, or 100 milliliter, sorry, white wine, 100 grams of white wine has 3 grams of total carbs of white wine. And let's just see what red wine has. It's a very good question. I appreciate being asked that question. 100 milliliters has 5 grams in red. So it's almost double in red wine. It's almost double. Wine is cheap here. Booze in general is, and cigarettes. Yeah. Some people they got on GB News are so boring. Yeah. But Lewis Schaffer, I try not to be boring, but maybe I am too. Daddy Bannister is in the house. He says red. Yeah, red has 5, which is similar to milk. It has the same number of carbs as in milk. Anyway, just right, Phil. Okay. You follow me, Alan. Follow Lucy. What's your name on Twitter, Lucy? And we can all follow Lucy. She doesn't need any more followers, but I followed. I followed from the very early days. You build more numbers with shorter shows and later time slot. Maybe a few celebrity guests too, like Paul Cox and Cressida. And regular streams, like you're doing already. I've been told all those things. I don't want to do a short show. But maybe I should do shorter shows. Later time slot? What should I start? What time is best for us? At 8? At 8, maybe a few celebrity guests too. Are they going to come and be a celebrity? It's so much work to get celebrity guests. And it's like then you're watching me talk to somebody. I don't know, 6 or 7 p.m., says Galactus. Interesting. Yeah, my number 2 son is a great guest. Yeah, he's a very good guest. Very handsome and funny. Red is lovely, but it does give me the munchies. Well, in theory, all wine should give you the munchies because a little bit of carbs gets you wanting more. Basically. Who's a pretty decent guest? My son. My number 1 son. My number 2 son. Yeah, he's good. Are you on GB News show this week? I have not been called. And I doubt that I'll be on. You know, who knows? They might have gotten a call because something that I've said here. I should be on my best behavior. But I'm not on my best behavior. I can't do it. Hence, I was surprised, Lorna. His sen, which way the wind is blowing on this one. I missed the thing. And it's because I love, yeah. If the show is an hour, I go, oh, I like to have talked to these people more. I like to end the show when I'm thinking, This has gone on. I can't even talk anymore. This has gone on way too far. I can't even talk. That's what I like. Thank God they don't have Amy Nicol on GB News anymore. Unbearable. Well, she was a left wing. I knew Amy. I know everybody basically. They used to know me. I really liked Amy, and then she got married or something. And then she got married. But I liked her. But I liked her very much. I liked her. She's very left wing, I think. You don't like her, but she's left wing. I don't like I prefer white. White. Okay, I used to like rosé, but now I find it too sweet. Yeah, I drink the white wine. Red wine sounds like you're out for dinner and you're having a party and that kind of thing. Oh, you don't need to pay your son. It'll be a great guest, but my fee is too high. You would be a great guest. Yeah. I mean, who knows? Who knows what the future will bring? I like this. I'm trying to do as little work as possible. They're lost, Lewis. If you're not on the panel, I turn over. Well, it's there could be reasons. They might have gotten a call. We don't want him on, says Ofcom. Says, that's the way English people operate. They're like so close together. All this secret about Afghani refugees that they're bringing in. Hundreds of thousands of them. Amy Nicol and Rebecca Reed. Let's try to be nice. So Rose needed to share your political views, but Amy was grand, despite being a massive lefty. Lewis, I did not, yes. And here's why. Because we're on this, because, yeah, I don't know if I should explain why Rose didn't want me to go to work. She didn't want me to be on GB News. So this is where I'm making money from. You know what I mean? And that's the answer there, Joodles. That's the question. Yes, you in Greek, Stella, would be a fun panel. A very funny woman. I mean, women can be really funny, but and I don't know if I like her, but you know what I mean. It was a different time when we were on the TV together. I was okay with Amy. She was often entertaining, says Mark J. With Adam, there, spelled wrong there, and their to and fro debates. Yeah, Adam I like a lot too as a person. He's a really nice guy. Wouldn't Rose want you on GB News, Lewis, says Leanne. No, because she thinks I'm supporting an evil enterprise. That the left think that GB News is evil. They think I'm evil for being on there. They think that you are evil for watching Lewis Schaffer and GB News. We try to be here. We try to be nice here at the Kinsey Club, even to liberals. Yeah, Dean and you hilarious. Yeah, we're heading into a wartime situation. You heard it here first. We're at war. And when you're at war and you're in the woods in Poland and you hear people walking in the woods and they're whistling Wagner. And you like Wagner, but you're a Jew and you think to yourself, maybe these people might be NAZ, whatever. Maybe they're bad people. What do you do? I mean, Patrice O'Neill had a whole bit about this. You're walking down the street and you see a bunch of skinheads walking. What do you do? A group of skinheads. This is at the time when skinheads were scary. Do you wink at Emily Carver? Did I wink at her? I hope I didn't. Because I'm in a business-like professional place. But Amy is really also lovely. The eye candies at GB News were Emily Webb and Emily Carver. Yeah, both conservative girls. Yeah, they were really great. They were really great. They're still great. I think they're still there. Amy is great candy. I don't know who Nina Miskoff is. At least I don't think. I don't know what happened with Amy Nicol. She's a talk or something. Uh-oh. Patrick won't be happy. Yeah. You'll be happy because Lewis Schaffer is not in the running. Number two, Lewis Schaffer respects the husbands of people, of the wives I know, of the husbands I know. If you're a husband, then you got a beautiful wife. Sorry, Joodles. You've got a beautiful wife. If you got a husband and a beautiful wife, you know, you can feel safe around Lewis Schaffer. Okay. I would love to see Lewis and Nina Miskov. Let me see a picture. Now I have to see a picture of what Nina Miskov looks like. Ay, ay, ay. Yes. Oh, she's attractive. Oh, she's 79 years old. Perfect. She's a British journalist and television personality who is columnist for The Sun and the News of the World. Okay. I think I know her. I don't know her that much, but I know. You know, we all run into each other. It's a small space. But yeah, very nice. Very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, and then we got Reform is on. Nita looks fantastic for her age. Bev Turner is also nice. I mean, GB News is basically the Reform channel. But there's a lot of that on it. It's called the Reform channel because it's on no other place. So of course it's the Reform channel because it's on a bit more. And it has Naja Faraj. I was mortified when she did to Adam Brooks one night. Snike. Oh, I don't know. Joodles. It would be like a CT fight. Entertainment from a distance. Wouldn't want to be Patrick if that happened. Okay. Like a cat fight, yeah. I love Adam Brooks. I love Adam Brooks. Stella is okay too, but I have to turn the volume down. Simon had her laughing. Nina was a TV critic in the 1980s. That's a good place to start, I guess. It's a good place to start. It's a good place to start. She won't be your cup of tea. This is what Joodle says, Lewis. She won't be your cup of tea. And she'd shout all over you and snipe at you and try to shame you somehow. Yeah, let him try to shame me. I'm pretty unshameable. Am I unshameable? I'm pretty unshameable, so she can't shame me. But I love Adam Brooks, okay? So let's see what you're saying. He followed me back that night, Kerry, after I gave off at her being a horrible cow. Who followed you back? Simon. Lewis. Get out reporting. That's something else I could do. You know what? What we're trying to do is as little work as possible. And then, if nothing results from as little work as possible, we'll do a bit more. Anna Firth is great too. She's great. Even I don't agree with her politics. She's like a Tory. Anyway, I remember Nina from generations ago when she was honest about people on some talent show. Yeah, the problem is new faces. Is that what you're thinking? I used to like Nina, but she has said a few things that even peed me off, and that's really difficult to do. This is Leanne speaking now. Leanne says, I like hearing views I don't like as it broadens your mind or cements your own thoughts. I don't like. Okay, she says, I like hearing views I don't like, but you didn't like what she said. Wrong thinking. Get out there. New Faces was a talent show she was on. Okay. That's something. I turn on Stella and Susie. I went to Cambridge Stride Off. I don't know who those people are. She's very rude, Simon Arnold says. Lewis, news. Aren't we doing the news? Aren't we discussing the news? What I'd like to do is I'd like to have like little snippets that are snipped 3-minute things for TikTok or YouTube or something, or 5-minute or something. We say, this is what Lewis Schaffer thinks about this. She's nasty when she knows she's lost the argument. Yeah, but it's very hard to be nasty to me, for girls to be nasty, because it's like, how could she win? Your flirting with Nana was always good entertainment. Yeah. I mean, Nana is thin and beautiful. Thin and beautiful. Okay, some people aren't open to hearing opposing views, Leanne. This is what Steve Cuff is saying. We learn by listening, not shouting over people. Yeah, I don't think I try not to shout over people. I try not to. We will riot if you are not on tomorrow. Well, Alex, good to see you. Hello, Alex. I didn't notice you being here, but thank you. Now I notice your name. Could you go to Twitter? Go to Twitter. Here's the thing for Twitter. Can you see Lewis Schaffer at Twitter? Go to my name, Lewis Schaffer at Twitter, and say, I want you on the show. And Google Patrick, I shouldn't be saying to do that. Street news, Lewis on the street, 10 Downing. Yeah, I could probably do that. It's just so much work. It's so much work. Do you have a full-time job, Daddy Bannister? Yeah, it's just very hard. I don't want to do it. I was just a kid back then. She's all I can remember from the show. Well, that says something if you remember just her. 10 Downer Street. I'm fading. Yes, I'm fading. Okay, maybe we'll stop the show now. How about we stop the show now? How many people are watching? Can I get an update on how many people are watching? 38. Well, this is the question. How do I leave? I'm one of those people that can't leave. That's why you don't want me coming over to your house. I won't leave. Is Lewis a regular 39th? I was a regular, but I'm not a regular now. Maybe I'll be called tomorrow. Be nice. Be nice to be called tomorrow. Are you really a pizza? Oh, that's right. You said this yesterday. My memory is so bad. You're a pizza chef in Laos. Okay, the Laotians nice people. They probably are. Yes, I will. Yes. Okay. Yeah, hold on a second. Hold on. I am fading a little bit. Okay, 2 hours and 3 minutes. You keep on leaving and come back. I don't want to leave because you don't know what's going to happen. Thank you, Kerry. Thank you, Leanne. You don't know. Thank you, Kinsey. You don't know what's going to happen. Anything can happen. I mean, I still have things that we haven't discussed that I consider content. But you guys we're talking about films and shit. Sorry, films. Films are nice to talk about, but come on. Maybe they take you for granted and assume you'll be free to go on GB News, hence the short notice. Undoubtedly, yeah. But what am I supposed to do? Say, can you call me earlier? Can I say no to them? No, I'm available. I'm available to you too. That's the short notice, okay? Awesome. We need a Thursday night Lewis fix. Cracking up Patrick. Yeah, I think it's good. I think I'm good entertainment, but I'm also been saying stuff that's been like I said what I said about disability. They got all angry at me. They got all angry because they're mental, because they're mentally disabled. That's why, I shouldn't even say that on the air. It's not the right thing to say. But they're very sensitive, some of these people. And I spend my life, Jim Johnson's in the house from North Texas, is that I spend my time saying things to see if people are not going to be offended. I don't want to deal with people who are going to be offended. You want to get offended by Lewis Schaffer, you find yourself another person to watch. I love watching Patrick and not knowing what's coming next. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because we want unpredictability. That's what I want. And we want people to be able to take a joke. But if you can't take a joke, number one, or if you can't even hear me say something that's my actual opinion, if GB News books him for tomorrow, we'll have to put in a counter offer, or we'll offer them some money not to invite him on. So we'll have no place else to go. I don't understand how that works, but good night, Lewis. Anyway. Okay, so where are we? His face is always a picture when you start talking. Yeah. because it's a different kind of approach that I have. I'm not gonna say the exact same thing that everybody else says. Even what I mean, occasionally back on headliners, I'll say I agree with Nick Dixon. My favorite show was Lewis, Nick, and Leo. It was maybe one of my favorite shows too. I like Cressida. I like Paul. There's only one person I did not like. Maybe one person. Anyway. Yeah, he doesn't know. Patrick doesn't know what's going on. And you shouldn't know. That's what makes good TV. You should not know what I'm going to say. You shouldn't know, I think. Anyway, so, because I'll tell you the things that I was going to discuss, what I could discuss, which is I'm not eating during the show. I discussed that. I'm not eating during show because it makes me feel a bit wonky. I've been having cheese in the show, and it makes me feel wonky. I don't feel as wonky. I'm a bit tired right now because I'm talking for 2 straight hours, right? 2 straight hours. I'd like my health results. I don't really want to talk about that. Did we discuss co-op? Yeah, we discussed that. Come and ride the bus, Schaffer. This is what co-op stand for. That was really funny. Mr. S.E., Simon Evans, seemed rather unpleasant. That's his act. That's his act. He's a lovely guy. He's not unpleasant. Bring your placard. What, that says this? That says to go on Twitter? Jim, are you following me on Twitter? I like Lewis and the Irish woman. She doesn't stop laughing. Yeah, she's great. She's really great. I hope people can see that I'm really like her. Tell us who you didn't like, Lewis. Give us the gossip. I liked every single one of them except for one person who cost me thousands of pounds and got the show taken off the air. I should stop talking about it, but it's cost me thousands of pounds. Thousands of pounds kept me off the air. Okay. I like Aideen. No, Aideen is really funny, and she's so beautiful too. And I love Cressida. Okay, they made a decision. One guy made a decision. I don't want this guy hosting. Boom, you never see him. One guy made a decision. Says, I want Lewis on it 2 days a week instead of 3. And that cost me money. We all love Cressida. She's really smart, and she's very volatile. She is very volatile, Cressida. And I find that attractive. I shouldn't like that. I mean, the women that I like, who are the women that I like? Are the volatile ones. I shouldn't like you because you're dangerous. I enjoy, okay. Who's old school perfection? It could be Simon Evans. He's very, very, I think he's one of the smartest guys on the show. Him and Andrew, these are really smart guys. I'm just like I'm not as smart as I used to be, and I was never that smart. I'm just like an average guy who's got a weird way of looking at the world. Who the hell would ask for less, Lewis? We hate them. Yeah, I don't know. I don't hate all of them. Wait a second. Yeah, I'm still on. Went shopping. Yeah, the show we've been on for sometimes we're on for 4 hours or 3 hours. Maybe we should do a show in 2:45. Thanks, Kitty. Maybe we should do a show in 2 parts. Maybe we should do a show from now, for 2 hours, and then do another maybe hour show at 11 o'clock at night. And I'll tweet, not every night, but if I'm free. Thank you, Chris King. 46. That's a good number. 46 people, and you're all basically here. You haven't left. I mean, if it was, you know what I mean. 2 parts wouldn't work. You're 29. Who thinks 2 parts could work? I think that's a good idea. And now you're saying that. Joe says, good idea. Lamb kebab, no carbs. Yeah, that's a good choice of food. Very good. That's what you had. What do you think about 2 parts? What do I think? I say, I've got to go at 7 o'clock and then at 11 o'clock right before bed. Can we then all dream of you? Yeah. I mean, and I'd be fresh again. I'd be fresh. And if I'm busy, I'm busy. If I'm busy, I maybe can do the 11 o'clock and not this, whatchamacallit, 5 o'clock show. Keith, hey, good to see you back on there. One late night. What do you mean, one late night? Late Night Lewis. This is a new program, Late Night Lewis, and we could come up with some different way of doing it. Or maybe we do it the exact same way, but it's an hour later. We can get all the different stuff on, basically. How about that? I was told there was a discussion about how Big One's thingy looks if you lose weight. Is this true? Yes, it is true. Yes, because you've got a layer of fat on your pubic area that makes your thing look smaller. Here, can you see that? Let's say you got a big lumpy thing right here, and then you lose the weight. It's going to come out seeming longer. 11 p.m. is better, so that's 2 shows. 2 shows are a good idea. Thank you, MUC. Liam, by 11:30 yesterday, I was asleep. Yeah. But then again, people were watching headliners too. But you could watch it from 5 to 7. You could do that. If what? Doing chest exercises makes your boobies look bigger. Could do that. Yeah. It can make your butt bigger. People were always doing exercises. They'd have a small butt back in the day. Back in the day, that's what people wanted, were small butts, if you girls remember that. Could it get any smuttier? Oh, is Lorna. Lorna's been smutty all day. I'm in bed by 9, so this timing is perfect. Okay. We're going to lose people either way. We're losing people now by being at 5 o'clock. I think it'd be amazing to do 2 shows. I think. I mean, would I be trying to put what's his name show out of business? Patrick Christie? I thought you meant if your thighs were fat, the thing between them looks smaller. Yes, that's true too, and it's very funny. And I used to have a joke like that. You know, when you see a skinny guy, they always have a big, huge, it just looks bigger. Mine, I can't talk like this, but you know what I'm going to say. Yeah. There's a machine in the gym I go, especially to make your butt bigger. Yeah. All exercise makes your butt bigger. And exercise doesn't make you skinnier. Back in the day, we didn't have crap in our food, so we were skinnier. It's not the crap that's in your food, it's the actual food. How old are you, Jim Johnson? And I'll tell you how much stuff you've been eating, because the last 40 years have been horrible for food. It's all high-carb processed food. I agree, Lewis. I only see the first 15 cm spare tire. What does that mean? I agree with Lewis. I only see the first 15 centimeters spare tire. You have a spare tire? That's a lot, 15 centimeters. How long is 15 centimeters? That's over, that's like 7 inches or 8 inches. I don't know. Maybe that's large to me. It's not the 11% part show. So please keep it clean. Yeah, maybe you're right. Let's keep it clean, Laura. Laugh out loud, Kerry. What is Kerry saying? It would just be one big show, Lewis, because you probably couldn't end the first show. I would end the first show if I knew I had to come back and I need to save my voice. My voice isn't going bad. It's just, you lose a bit. 66, yeah. 66, you're the same as me. People used to have beef fat back then. Not that I ever used it. They used to have beef. Every meal had a lot of beef. They didn't have, in our year, it started to come, Mazola corn oil and Mazola, trans fat stuff. But that's really bad. 1.5, 6 inches. 6 inches is 1.5 cents. Beef. We had beef. Anyway. Okay, so thank you, Lorna. Okay, remember, Lorna, remember what the rule is. One of the 3 rules. I think maybe we could do this. We could do this. Maybe we should just see. You don't have to listen to it. You don't have to listen to it. We'll just come at this time. I'm just afraid if we have 2 shows, we might lose some people. And then you'll think, oh, where did what's his name go? Where did Steve go? Where did Chris King go? Where did they go? Crisco, yeah. Crisco is made out of cottonseed oil. Cottonseed oil, processed cottonseed oil. Yeah, it's a good idea. And you don't have to commit to it. You can trial it. Yeah, maybe let's do a couple of days a week or something. That's why women have trouble reversing. Men lie to them about measurements. Yeah. Yeah, we lie. I don't know. Not that I mean obviously a man's member does not matter to women. Obviously. We all know that. Do we know that? We all know that. Okay, I'll be here. Okay. Crisco. Do they have Crisco? It worked with stripping dwarves. I'm not a dwarf, just in case you thought otherwise. I don't remember that program, but let's be nice to dwarves. It's not easy. Okay, Maltese Phil. All right, so we've been on for 2.5 hours. Okay, how many viewers do we have? I feel like I don't want to go. I don't want to let you people down. Thank you for clarifying this, you, Jarrett. This is Galactus says that. 41. 41. Okay, let me just say, I'm going to say goodbye now, okay? I'm going to leave the thing on for like 5 minutes for you to write your goodbye comments to everybody. And should I see you at 11 o'clock tonight? Someone, yeah. I'll see you tonight. I don't know about I'll see you tonight at 11. From 11 till 12, just give it a try. How about that? I'll have to tweet it out. Maybe it's too much. If I do it, I'll tweet it. If I do it. Thank you, Keith, for watching. Thank you, Alex, for coming in. Yes. I'm not sure, Leanne, but thank you very much. Thank you, Alan Williams. Thank you, Kerry. Thank you, Maltese Phil, Joe, and Galactus, and Steve Cuff. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you. Thank you, Simon Arnold. Thank you, Lorna. Thank you, everybody, for this. Okay. Thank you. You, Jarrett. Thank you. Thank you, Manchester United Football Club fan, Jim Johnson. Carrie, what and I. Thank you for coming back in there. Thank you, everybody. All right, we'll see you at 11, maybe for an hour. Okay, love you.